This is the Off Track Betting Television Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We have a lot of stakes racing action to bring to you this week from around the country. Of course, summer stakes racing action heating up from the West Coast to the East Coast, Del Mar to Saratoga, and many points in between to bring to you this weekend. We're going to start things off with the Lady Baltimore Stakes for a $75,000 purse. This race was won on Saturday at Laurel. 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares going 1 1/8 miles over the turf course at Laurel Park. Let's head down to Laurel for the call of the Lady Baltimore.
And they're off. The Unforgiven Romantic Notions showing good early speed. Hoochie Coochie Gold Court is next, and Maria's Tiara taken back there in 5th position, followed outside by Vaguely Rich, and then back to Inside Affair. Will travel 7 lengths off that early lead. Poopsie and Modest Girl, the 2 trailers now, they're about 11 or 12 lengths off the lead. Into the clubhouse turn, and it's Hoochie Coochie showing the way. Romantic Notions alongside the 2nd spot, and Gold Court at the real 3rd. That's the Unforgiven next in 4th, Maria's Tiara, and Vaguely Rich Racing as a team. They're about 5 lengths from the front, followed by Inside Affair. It's another 3. Poopsie has 1 beaten. That's Modest Girl, the trailer, 14 lengths off the lead. Pace honest enough out there. Romantic Notion showing the way by 1 3/4 lengths from Hoochie Coochie. The Unforgiven a tracking 3rd, still got run left there, and Gold Court on the inside looming in 4th. Maria's Tiara racing in hand in 5th in between horses, followed by Vaguely Rich, who's 6, 3 wide. Inside Affair is about 6 lengths from that lead. Poopsie and Modest Girl, his last 11 lengths, covers a whole group of them. Heading to the far turn now. Here comes the Unforgiven on the outside, coming to quicken up the pace, and there goes the Unforgiven to put ahead in front. Romantic Notions counters back on the inside to reclaim a short lead as they move into the far turn. Hoochie Coochie 3rd, Vaguely Rich 4th, Maria's Tiara right there in 5th, and Gold Court is next in 6th. Anyone a 4 or 5 can win it. Inside Affair is 6 lengths off the lead and has to kick it in now. The Unforgiven comes for home with the lead. Maria's Tiara, Vaguely Rich on the outside. Inside Affair got to switch outside, and Romantic Notions under pressure into the stretch. The Unforgiven, Maria's Tiara, Vaguely Rich is right there in the 3rd spot. Romantic Notions, Inside Affair on the outside, followed by Gold Court. Maria's Tiara has hit the front with a 16 to go. Inside Affair, Modest Girl flying extreme outside in Gold Court, but it's Maria's Tiara who's clear to win it by 1 3/4 lengths.
Maria's Tiara, 1 1/4 length winner here over the favorite Inside Affair. Maria's Tiara and Inside Affair both coming from well off the pace in this event. Early pace setters Hoochie Coochie and Romantic Notions fading to last and 2nd to last. Finishing 3rd, Modest Girl, another one making a big run from the back of the pack. This was a race dominated by late closing horses. The outside move seemed to be the place to be. Horses settling back, making the big one run. Maria's Tiara is a 4-year-old mare, 4-year-old filly, sired by Magic Prospect. She was bred in Maryland by Mr. and Mrs. John Friedman. She is owned by Mrs. Virginia Friedman, trained by John Friedman. She completed the 1 1/8 miles over the turf course under Mark Johnston in 1 minute 47 3/5 seconds. Next, we're going to head to Monmouth Park. Monmouth ran a big racing card this weekend, supporting the big stakes event on Sunday, the Haskell Invitational. Getting the weekend kicked off on Saturday, it was the Safely Kept Handicap, a $50,000 event for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares, sprinting 6 furlongs on the main track. Let's head down to Monmouth now for the call of the Safely Kept Handicap.
They're racing, and the Safely Kept, and Vegas Prospector came out of the gate fast. Vegas Prospector to the front. Ticklish Situation outrunning in 2nd position. On the outside of them is Do Not Forsake Me in 3rd, and she's backed off 3 from the lead early. Then it's 2 back to Zora. Lovely Lake alongside of her, and then Affair with Molly, and Love in the Hills is 7 off the lead as they race past the opening quarter in a very quick 21 2/5 seconds. Ticklish Situation takes up the running from the rail. Vegas Prospector just off her flank on the outside. Do Not Forsake Me is 3rd and right in the race now. Affair with Molly's in gear in 4th around the turn. She'll have to go 4 wide, but she's running well at this point. Then comes Love in the Hills, Lovely Lake, and Zora, a 1/2 mile and 44 flat, and they're into the stretch. And it's Vegas Prospector to the outside. Do Not Forsake Me in the middle of the racetrack. Affair with Molly still coming on in third. Vegas Prospector, Do Not Forsake Me. Affair with Molly trying to catch him. Vegas Prospector inside. On the outside, Do Not Forsake Me. Still Affair with Molly coming. Vegas Prospector, Do Not Forsake Me. Do Not Forsake Me wins.
Do Not Forsake Me. This is a horse that we've seen here in New York, running very well for Juan Saray. Goes down to Juan Saray's home on the Jersey Shore and wins a stakes race, a $50,000 event, from just off the pace. She was able to overtake a horse that had assumed the lead, Vegas Prospector, at the top of the stretch, getting a neck victory over the favorite, finishing third. Affair with Molly. Final time of the race, very quick, 1:09. The track that day labeled fast. We were to have some showers later on in the weekend along the East Coast, bringing some much needed rain and possibly changing the conditions of some of the racetracks over which we will be watching some of the races from this past weekend. But Do Not Forsake Me, a very nice effort for this 4-year-old filly, a daughter of Cahill Road, who was bred in Kentucky by the G&N stable. She is owned by Gabriel Romero, trained by Juan Saray, ridden to victory by Jose Velez, completing the 6 furlongs, as I mentioned, in 1:09 flat. Continuing with the weekend stakes action at Monmouth Park, we're going to switch to Sunday's card, where they got the stakes racing action for the day kicked off with the Teddy Drone Stakes, an $80,000 purse for 3-year-olds and up, going 6 furlongs on the main track. Let's head back to Monmouth Park now for the call of the Teddy Drone Stakes.
They're racing in the Teddy Drone. Son of Savage came off to a good start with Brushed On and Red Weasel to his inside. These two going up and after the lead now. Then it's Nimble fourth along the rail. The favorite, My Jeff's Mambo, is fifth early, 3.5 lengths off the lead, and he's keyed up to go after them now. Then it's Unreal Madness, sift away to the outside, and Toop is 7 lengths behind them. The opening quarter blazed in 21 4/5 seconds. Into the far turn. And the leader is Brushed On, 3/4 of a length to Son of Savage. Red Weasel trapped behind them in third. Moving up on his outside is My Jeff's Mambo. Siftaway's got 4 to make up on the far turn. Then it's Unreal Madness, will need some running room to the inside, followed by Nimble. They run a half mile in 44 4, and they're into the stretch. And Son of Savage on the inside, Brushed On cuts the corner. My Jeff's Mambo coming up to them. Now trying to angle out his Red Weasel. Unreal Madness had to check, but he's coming on. And as they come down to the 16th pole, it's now My Jeff's Mambo in front. Red Weasel and Unreal Madness. My Jeff's Mambo. My Jeff's Mambo wins the Teddy Drone. It's a head bob for second between Unreal Madness and Red Weasel.
My Jeff's Mambo, another stakes win here for Jose Velez, won on Saturday, now winning again. This race, the $80,000 event for sprinters, beating Red Weasel, always a tough customer down there on the New Jersey Sprint Circuit, finishing third, Unreal Madness, closing from well off the pace. Your winner, My Jeff's Mambo, came from just off the pace, made a bit of a wide move on the turn and edged clear by 1.25 lengths under Jose Velez. My Jeff's Mambo was a 5-year-old gelding by Mambo Jumbo. He was bred in Kentucky by Blind Faith Farm, Roy Coffey, and Mike Gentry. Currently owned by the Runnin' Horse Farm and trained by Norman Pointer. Under Jose Velez, he completes the 6 furlongs in 1:09 2/5 seconds. Continuing along the day's card at Monmouth Park, the next stakes race on the card was the Ladies' Secret Stakes, another $80,000 race. This was for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares. They're going to go 1 mile and 70 yards. Let's head back down to Monmouth now for the call of the Ladies' Secret Stakes.
They're racing in the Ladies' Secret Stakes. Sweet Misty had a good start. Tasso's Magic Roo came out running in second. 2-2 Divine is out in third. Then comes Bloomin' Double to the outside as they head into the clubhouse turn. Casanova Market, Timely Broad, and Shasho Be Gone in the back of the pack early with 7 furlongs left. It's Sweet Misty. Dale Beckner's got her on the lead by a length. 2-2 Divine running second. Bloomin' Double to the outside third. Tasso's Magic Roo tucked in at the rail in fourth, 2 lengths off the lead. Then it's Shasha Be Gone, hard held in fifth, followed by Timely Broad and Casanova Market. The first quarter was 22 4/5 seconds. Sweet Misty heading up the backstretch, 3/4 of a length in front. It's 2-2 Divine second by a head. Bloomin' Double to the outside third. Tasso's Magic Rue continues to save ground. 2 lengths off that leader. Then it's 2 lengths more back to Shasha Be Gone. Casanova Market is out of last. Timely Broad is now trailing. A half mile in 46 and 1. Around the far turn, Sweet Misty continues to lead it by 2. Bloomin' Double is second. Then it's 2-2 Divine. Shasha Be Gone is moving 4 wide. Tasso's Magic Rue's been on the rail the whole way. Timely Broad and Casanova Market in the back. 3/4 in 1:10 and 3, and they're into the stretch. It's Sweet Misty, but Shasha Be Gone's coming. Sweet Misty by 2. Shasha Be Gone second down the center of the track. 2-2 Divine is third. Sweet Misty put them away. Sweet Misty and Dale Beckner coming home a winner. Sweet Misty in the Ladies' Secret. Then Shasha Be Gone and 2-2 Divine.
Sweet Misty, a nice effort here as the favorite, 19-10 favorite on the front end. We've seen a number of come-from-behind wins already on this weekend's stakes docket. Sweet Misty winning on the front end here. Very nice form for this favorite. Finishing second, Shasha Be Gone, a filly that had been doing quite well on the Mid-Atlantic circuit and New Jersey circuit on the grass, switching here to the turf, running a very good second at over 5-1, finishing third. Long shot. Longest shot on the board at 45, almost 46-1. 2-2 Divine showed good speed before fading a bit, weakening in the stretch, but not a bad effort for a horse at 45-1. Ladies' Secret won by Sweet Misty with Dale Beckner aboard. Sweet Misty is a 5-year-old chestnut mare by Lucky So-and-So. She was bred in Texas by Dr. William C. Day. She is trained by Randy Allen, owned by Tommy Landreth. Completes the 1.70 miles over the Monmouth main track, labeled good on a showery day in 1 minute 40 and 3/5 seconds. Next on the stakes racing card down at Monmouth Park on Sunday was the Restoration Stakes. This is an $80,000 event for 3-year-olds. They're going 1.16 miles, this time over the turf course. Turf course was also labeled good on this showery day. Let's head back down to Monmouth Park now for the call of the Restoration Stakes.
They're racing in the Restoration Stakes. Imaginary Sword and 2-Punch Sunny had the best beginnings, and now Ray's Future comes through on the inside, and Ray's Future rests a short lead. It's 2-Punch Sunny running in second position. Arabi is up to third. Candy's Devil fourth down toward the inside. There goes Well Intended past horses on the far outside, then Special Dancer. They're followed down toward the inside by Imaginary Sword, who was off to a sharp start but is taken back to 6th now, 4 lengths off the lead. After that, we have a ground-saving Little Ghazi, Hunter's Aim to the outside, and Fred of Gold is last of all as they head toward the backstretch. The opening quarter, not fast, 24-2, and the fraction set by Ray's Future. He leads away by a length and 3/4. 2-Punch Sunny running in second on the outside. Then comes Candy's Devil third. Candy's Devil is on the inside, 3 lengths off the lead, a length and a half clear of Well Intended. Then it's Arabi, Imaginary Sword. After that comes Hunter's Aim with 6.5 to make up and a half mile to do it. Then comes Special Dancer, followed by Fred of Gold. And now in the back, it's Little Ghazi, a 49 flat half mile. Around the far turn, and Ray's Future continues to lead as 25-1 long shot still full of run up in front. Toward the inside, it's Candy's Devil into second. 2-Punch Sunny's third. Arabi comes into the stretch 4 wide. Imaginary Sword's on the rail, and they're into the stretch. It's Ray's Future. Now coming to tackle him is Candy's Devil to the outside. Imaginary Sword's in high gear. Arabi down to the last 16th. Candy's Devil, Imaginary Sword. Imaginary Sword wins the Restoration. Candy's Devil was second, and Fred of Gold came on for third.
Imaginary Sword, one of the choices in the wagering. He was the third choice at just over 3-1 in a big closing effort here, coming from the 7th spot. Ran well behind horses, down along on the rail, made a nice move entering the stretch. Did have a little bit of trouble, was able to get up by a length and a half under Joe Bravo. Candy's Devil, a longer shot on the board, 7-1. Tracked along behind the leaders and was just caught at the wire, finishing third. Fred of Gold, who was the favorite at 26-10, made a big wide rally late, was not able to make up enough ground on the top two finishers under Pat Day to make a big dent, ends up with the show spot. Imaginary Sword is a 3-year-old chestnut colt sired by Crusader Sword, bred in Florida by Harry Mangurian. He's owned by Noreen Carpenito, trained by Henry Carroll. Completes the mile in the 16th over the good turf course in 1 minute 43 and 1/5 seconds. Next on the card at Monmouth Park was the Eatontown Stakes. This is a Grade 3 event with a $100,000 purse. 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares going a mile and a 16th over the turf course. Let's head back down to Monmouth Park now for the call of the Eatontown Stakes.
They're racing in the Eatontown Stakes. Indian Head Penny had a good start. Who Did It and Run from the outside is outrunning in second position. On the far outside, it's Malt in third, then comes Formal Tango, and Final Tango down toward the inside. At a gap of 2 to Natalie 2, and Proud Owner is last of all as they race past the stands first time around. Who Did It and Run in front. Indian Head Penny second on the inside, the opening quarter in 23 3/5 seconds. Then it's Formal Tango and Final Tango together third and fourth. A length and a half clear of Malt fifth round that clubhouse turn. Malt is 4.5 lengths off the lead, and then comes Natalie 2, and Proud Owner is last. On to the backstretch now. The leader is Who Did It and Run by 2.5 lengths. Indian Head Penny second, Formal Tango to the outside third, and it's Final Tango saving ground about 4 lengths off the lead. Malt is next, and then Natalie 2 and Proud Owner on the outside. A half mile in 48 seconds flat. Who Did It and Run by 1 length. To the inside, Indian Head Penny second. Formal Tango right there to the outside, running third by a length. And it's Malt. Final Tango's gonna need a way to get out on the inside. Coming 3 wide on the far turn is Proud Owner, and Natalie 2 is last. 3/4 in 1:12 and 1, and they're into the stretch. And Who Did It and Run is still the leader. On the inside, Indian Head Penny, and here come runs from Formal Tango and Proud Owner, and these two have taken charge. From the back, Natalie 2 is splashing home fast. It's Formal Tango, Proud Owner, and Natalie 2. Formal Tango, Proud Owner, Natalie 2, Formal Tango.
Formal Tango, Jerry Bailey getting a good feel for the turf course down there, winning by half a length at odds of 7 to 10. She was the favorite. Finishing second, Proud Owner, who was the 16 to 1 longest shot, second longest shot on the board here, making a big closing rally. She circled 4 wide on the turn, made a very game effort here in the stretch. Finishing third, Natalie 2, coming back off of her win in the Matchmaker Stakes for Wayne Lucas in the Padua stable. Unfortunately, was not able to get up for more than the 3rd spot in here. Formal Tango, a very nice looking 4-year-old filly, doing very well on the grass. She certainly got the pedigree for it as a daughter of Dynaformer, bred in Kentucky by Michael Ranier, owned by Michael Ranier and Dee Hokowitz, trained by Albert Stahl. Completing the mile and the 16th over the turf course at Monmouth Park, labeled good, under Jerry Bailey, the time 1 minute 42 and 3/5 seconds. Continuing on with the stakes action from Sunday at Monmouth Park, the Skip-Away Stakes, an $80,000 purse, 3-year-olds and up, this time going a mile and a 16th on the main track. Let's head back down to Monmouth Park now for the call of the Skip-Away Stakes.
They're racing in the Skip-Away Stakes. Sharp start for Family Calling, and there goes Super Marvelous. And Bailey sends him to the lead past the stands. Gulliver came out running in third. Then it's Fred Bearclaw. Golden Missile is coming through an opening on the inside, while Tappet will trail early. Fred Bearclaw drifting out a bit into that turn, carrying Tappet out just a bit wide, and they have 6.5 furlongs left. The leader is Super Marvelous. He's run an opening quarter of 23 4/5 seconds. Gulliver is running second now to the outside. Pat Day has taken Golden Missile off the rail. He's third now, 3 lengths off the lead. Family Calling alongside of him, and on the inside, Fred Bearclaw second last with 5 to make up, and he's 3 clear of Tappet, who's last down the backstretch. A half mile in 47 seconds flat. It's Super Marvelous by a length and 3/4. Gulliver running in second position. Golden Missile continues to run third, 3.5 lengths off the lead. Then Fred Bearclaw to the inside, followed by Tappet, and Family calling back to last. Around the far turn, Super Marvelous. Now, here comes Golden Missile confronting him on the outside. They've run 3/4 in 1:11 and 1. Tappet is asked for a 3-wide sweeping move into third. Then Fred Bearclaw and Gulliver, and they're into the stretch. Golden Missile to the front. Super Marvelous will try to fight back on the inside. Bailey saves some for him. It's still Golden Missile though. Super Marvelous just can't stay with him. And Golden Missile is opening up, and look at him stride clear. Golden Missile running a big one today to win the skip away. Then Super Marvelous and Tappet third.
Golden Missile, this is a horse that we're familiar with here in the New York circuit. Golden Missile, a Joe Orsino trainee from the Stronach stable, came up here from Florida, has run a couple of good races against pretty fair competition, including a big try in the Suburban Handicap a couple of races back. Does well on both the main track and the turf, getting a stakes win here for an $80,000 purse on the dirt track at Monmouth Park. Very nice win by this one by 7 1/4 lengths, drawing away handily under Pat Day. Never really pressured hard in this race at all. Finishing second, Super Marvelous. Golden Missile was able to stalk this one early and take command at will at the top of the stretch. Golden Marvelous holding on very nicely for the place spot. Finishing in the third spot was Tappet, who made up quite a bit of ground late in the going. Golden Missile is a 4-year-old chestnut colt sired by AP Indy from the very nice mare Santa Catalina, who was sired by Cure the Blues. He was bred in Kentucky by Bruce Lunsford. This one is owned by the Stronach stable, as I mentioned. Trained by Joe Orsino, ridden to victory by Pat Day, completing the mile in a 16th distance over the good Monmouth course in 1 minute 41 3/5 seconds. The highlighted stakes event on the weekend's card at Monmouth Park, the Haskell Invitational, a $1 million purse sitting there for 3-year-olds. This is 3-year-olds on the main track going 1 1/8. It's a grade 1 event, drew a very strong field of horses. Let's head down to the Haskell now at Monmouth Park.
They're all in line. They're off in the Haskell Invitational. Ghost Story and Prime Directive were squeezed back at the start as Forestry fires first. Forestry right to the front, and there goes Cat Thief on the outside, and then it's Menifee running in third early. Menifee's right up there, and there goes Woodcarver, and Woodcarver splits Forestry and Cat Thief to make it 3 across the track into the clubhouse turn. Menifee's running in fourth, 3 lengths off of them. Unbridled Jet is fifth at this stage of the race, 2.5 clear of Prime Directive, and the Gray Ghost Story is last, 11 lengths off the lead. The first quarter was in 23 1, and they're on to the back stretch with Forestry in charge. Woodcarver kept close on the outside second. Cat Thief was forced 3 wide, but he's right in the thick of things on the outside. Pat Day's got a nice rating hold of Menifee. He's right there in fourth in the purple colors. Then Unbridled Jet on the inside. It's 2.5 back to Prime Directive. Ghost Story's lost some ground here. He's 14 lengths off the lead. A solid half mile in 46 1. It's Forestry in front, pressed by Woodcarver, and a 3 wide Cat Thief around the far turn. Now Unbridled Jet will try to come through inside of Menifee. Menifee's 2.5 lengths off the lead around the far turn, and Forestry and Cat Thief are now 1-2, and Menifee is menacing on the far outside. They've run 3/4 in 1:09 4, and they're into the stretch. It's Forestry, Cat Thief, and Menifee, and the 3 of them line up for a dramatic finish. Unbridled Jet's running a game one, but he can't get through. It's Forestry on the inside, Cat Thief between, Menifee on the outside, an unbelievable Haskell. Menifee, he's going to do it. It's Menifee and Pat Day. They've won the Haskell. It's Cat Thief second, and then came Forestry. Unbridled Jet was an unlucky 4th through the...
Menifee in a good effort here. 3 horses going under the wire within about a length or so, actually 4 if you go back to Unbridled Jet, who was just to the outside there of the third place finisher. Just a very game effort here though by Menifee, getting the half a length win under Pat Day. Pat Day had a very good weekend down in the on the Jersey Shore. He did very well. He's been doing very well at Saratoga. Goes down to Monmouth Park, running very well, very good race on Menifee. Held him back, rated him back behind the early lead. Forestry and Cat Thief, as you saw, were able to get out there early. Menifee rated back very nicely. Woodcarver, the gray, who had won the Queen's Plate last time out, or 2 races back rather, came back, showed very good speed, forcing the early pace of Forestry, Forestry to run rather quick early fractions. The second quarter run very, very quickly. Menifee was tracking behind the early lead, made a nice move on the turn, a little bit wide, 3 wide spot, under strong urging from Pat Day, but a very confident ride by Menifee, setting him up for a possible attempt at the Travers Stakes. Cat Thief, a very game effort by this one for a second place finish here. It looks like he may also be headed for the Travers. Forestry finishing third after leading most of the way around, setting very pressured fractions. He was never really able to draw away from his rivals and set the kind of early pace that he would have liked to. Unbridled Jet finishing in the 4th spot at 20-1, the 3rd longest shot on the board. But very good performance by this trainee of Bill Mott. Looked like he had some trouble in the stretch, but made a very big rally late in the going. Menifee, a 3-year-old colt sired by the late Harlan top stallion, who unfortunately died this year during the breeding season, was bred in Kentucky by A.B. Hancock, owned by Hancock and J.H. Stone, trained by Elliott Walden, ridden to victory by Pat Day, completing the 1 1/8 distance over the Monmouth main track, labeled good, in 1 minute 48 seconds flat. We are going to take our first break right now. When we come back, we'll have racing action to bring to you from the Midwest and from Del Mar in Southern California. Following that, we'll be heading to Saratoga, show you the 2nd week's worth of stakes action from the Spa. Please stay tuned.
Since the 19th century, there has been a gallery of champions at Saratoga, unmatched in racing history, including many New York breds, like Thunder Rumble, winner of the '92 Travers, Lucky Roberto, who won last year's Grade 1 Hopeful, and of course there's the king of Saratoga, the one, the only, 4-Star Dave. All winners, all part of history, all New York breds. Be a part of the many great moments still to come. Own or breed a New York bred. They start with an advantage.
Welcome back to Horses and Courses. Next, we're going to be heading to Ellis Park in Kentucky, where the weekend stakes racing action involved 2-year-olds. Starting on Saturday, it was the Ellis Park Debutante. There's 7 furlongs, 2-year-old fillies running for a $100,000 purse. Let's head down to Ellis Park now for the call of the Ellis Park Debutante.
Off and running in the Ellis Park Debutante. Apollo Cat broke sharply from the far outside, joined by Runaway Magic. Isabella Rose is right there. Expanse up to join the fray, and Asher's flashing speed on the inside. Tanta Birdie came away racing in 6th. Are You Up is 7th by 2. 40 grand next by 2 more than Bare Legs and Faithful Hearts at the back of the pack. Up the backstretch they go. Isabella Rose with Apollo Cat on the outside, and long shot Asher's up to join him on the inside. Expanse in behind the leading group, racing 4th. Tanta Birdie's in 5th now. Runaway Magic's on the far outside. Are You Up is hemmed in behind horses. A gap of 3 farther back to Bare Legs, then 40 grand, and it's 4 farther back to Faithful Heart. Through a quick and contested quarter, 22-1, and around the turn, and Asher taking command by a length now. Apollo Cat comes back on the outside with Expanse driving on the inside rail. Runaway Magic is 3 wide. Isabella Rose shuffle back now to 5th place. A gap of 2 farther back to Are You Up, who starts to gear it up. And it's Tanta Birdie 8 lengths off the lead as they run to the top of the lane. And Asher has got the lead. Asher 3 parts of a length in front of Apollo Cat. Runaway Magic starts to bear down on the outside. Expanse is moving up the inside rail in the stretch drive now. Asher has opened up by a length and a half. Expanse is coming hard up the inside in deep stretch. Asher, Expanse, and a late charge from Faithful Heart on the far outside. Asher, here comes Faithful Heart. 2 long shots. Asher in front. Faithful Heart's running out of ground. Asher hangs on to win the Ellis Park Debutante from Faithful.
Asher, Sidney Lejeune gets this one up by a nose, holding on desperately in an all-out drive with Faithful Heart. Faithful Heart didn't have a very good start, had a rough trip, ends up 8 wide into the stretch and just missed. But what a top 2 here. We had a 51-1 shot winning here, payoff of over $100, finishing second. The very game Faithful Heart coming from way off the pace. Also a long shot at almost 80-1, so we had quite an exacta here. The exacta ended up paying over $880. It's a very game effort by Asher here, who was a maiden going into this race, is a maiden no more. Finishing third was Expanse under Tracy Hebert, finishing a rather steady one-paced third, running most of the way around the race. track in that particular way. Asher is a 2-year-old Grayer Roan filly sired by Mountain Cat. She was bred by Indian Creek in Kentucky. She's owned by the Pepper Tree Farm, trained by Ron Moquette, ridden to victory by Sid Lejeune, completing the 7 furlongs in 1 minute 26 and 2/5 seconds. Sunday, it was the Ellis Park Juvenile, the male equivalent of the debutante, for $100,000. 2-year-olds also going 7 furlongs. Let's head back down to Ellis Park for the Ellis Park Juvenile.
Off and running in the Ellis Park Juvenile. And it's 10 high to the front, joined quickly by Irish Dawn on the outside. Up the center comes Personal First, flashing good speed, and Perspective right there along the inside. Flying Metro comes through between horses now, but Personal First is taken over. Sprints clear a length and a half to Flying Metro in second, Perspective up the rail third. Irish Dawn now 3 lengths off the pacemaker fourth. Millen Collin racing in fifth. Bullet Buzz goes by him early now. Liar up the inside rail, next by a length and a half. They're followed by Jack's Olympio. Heat of Dixie gains on the extreme outside. 10 high is back to second last now by 2 more, and Chance for Bert the trailer. Opening quarter in a fast 22-1. Round the turn they go. Personal First and Marlin St. Julian by a length and a half now. Perspective has to keep up in second. Flying Metro's racing in third by 2. Bullet Buzz revs up nicely 3 wide. Liar starts to get into the picture now along the inside. In behind that, Irish Dawn's on the far outside, and Jack's Olympio gaining ground with Heat of Dixie to the top of the stretch. Personal First past the quarter pole, opening up now. Personal First by 2.5. Liar now up into a clear-cut second. Then Jack's Olympio up the inside fence in the stretch drive, and it's Personal First. And Marlin St. Julian sets him down for the drive. Personal First leading it clear by 3. Then Liar in second place, and Jack's Olympio up the inside, but there's no catching Personal First. Personal First wire to win the Ellis Park Juvenile by 4 at the finish. Jack's Olympio second. Liar was third.
Personal First, this one another little bit of a long shot, but not quite as long as the previous days. This is a 10-1 shot, winning on the front end in very fine fashion, 4.5 lengths, drawing away very comfortably from his field in a very nice performance here by this 2-year-old. Finishing second, Jack's Olympio saving some ground, reaching a good position at the top of the stretch, unable to make the big rally late. Finishing third was Liar. This is a 2-year-old that has done very well against some nice horses down on the Kentucky circuit. He was, in fact, the favorite under Cal Burrell. The winner, Personal First, a son of Personal Hope, 2-year-old colt, bred in Kentucky by George Wagner. He is owned by D. Waldron, W. Shively, and L. Killingsworth, trained by David Paulus, completing the 7 furlongs in 1 minute 25 seconds flat. Next, we're going to shift to the West Coast, where on Wednesday, the featured event of the day at Del Mar was the Escondido Stakes. This was a restricted event for California breds, run for a $75,000 purse. Over the turf course, they're going 1 3/8 miles for 3-year-olds and up. Let's head out to Del Mar now for the call of Wednesday's Escondido Stakes.
Deal for the Escondidos, sent on their 1 3/8 miles journey. They came away perfectly. Special Quest from the inside gate. Special Quest takes the early lead. Astrobad is racing up alongside. There goes Jack Grandy on the outside third. They're going a fast pace early on in here. Then we drop back to Foggy Days, taken back into the 4th place, and Dancing Place is second last. A good 5 off those leaders. That leaves War Declaration at the back. Coming to the top of the stretch first time round, and Special Quest has ensured a very honest pace early. Special Quest by just over a length. Astrobad is tracking down in second, and Foggy Days right there on the inside. Then we come back to Jack Grandy, who's now settled down 4th, only 3.5, 4 lengths off these leaders. They've been followed by Dancing Place, who's second last, and War Declaration, 8 lengths off the leaders. They run past the stands first time round, and Special Quest now settled down into a steady pace out here. It's still an honest one though. Astrobad racing on the outside, and Foggy Day is right on the heels of that leader. Those 3 tightly bunched together. Then it's another 2 lengths back to Jack Grande racing in the 4th spot. In behind that comes Dancing Place, who's still 4.5 off these leaders. And then a big gap of 5 back to War Declaration. There's been no change in this order for a good half mile now as they run their way down the backstretch. It's still Special Quest and Alex Elise taking them along by half a length. Astrobad has been right there in second throughout. Foggy Day still just tucked in at the rail, going to wait for room at the top of the lane. Outside of him comes Jack Grande in the purple colours right there too. Dancing Places in fifth, 4 lengths off the leaders, and now a gap of 6 back to War Declaration. Into the far turn they go. Special Quest continues to kick on for home. Astrobad breathing down his neck second. Foggy Day right there in third. Jack Grundy's the first one to weaken. Dancing Places starting to run on in the green cap. Top of the lane, and Astrobad kicks for home. Special Quest digs deep and tries to find more. Foggy Day hooked off the rail, coming with a big run, and Dancing Place on the outside. Astrobad, Foggy Day. Now we're coming down to these two. Dancing Place third. Astrobad, Foggy Day. These two going to hit the wire together. Here it is. Astrobad. Astrobad wins.
Astarabad trying to get a little bit of a prep race in here. This one is a horse that has been running against some very tough company. Not been able to get the win, but here was able to get the W in his record for Julio Canani and Chris Antley. A very good effort from just off the pace. Made a wide move into the backstretch and held on gamely by a neck over Foggy Day, who was rallying late. Finishing in the show spot was Dancing Place. Astarabad did go off as the favorite. He is a 5-year-old horse sired by Alleged, bred in Kentucky by the Aga Khan, currently owned by David Milch of television production fame. Trained by Julio Canani, completes the mile and 3/8 on the turf course under Chris Antley in 2 minutes 13 and 3/5 seconds. Saturday's stakes feature at Del Mar was the San Diego Handicap. Unfortunately, as has been the case out in California for much of the season, drew a very small field, nonetheless a very good field for the $250,000 San Diego. It's a mile and a 16th event, considered a prep for the 1 1/4 Pacific Classic later on in the meet, but didn't draw as many horses as perhaps was originally thought. There was talk that Real Quiet might take a shot with the San Diego Handicap. He did not enter. A 4-horse field did go to the gate. Let's head back out to Del Mar now for the call of the San Diego Handicap.
Field for the San Diego Handicap sent on their way. The 4 runners came away beautifully. Thibodeau's been sent along for the lead, but Muzzle Trek not going to let him get it. Muzzle Trek takes the early lead. Thibodeau still ridden along those, going to go up and put his head in front now. Bud Royale going to drop in behind those first two, are setting a fast pace, and that leaves River Keen last. He's 6 off the leaders. Past these 7/8 they go, and now the long shot Thibodeau gets a half a length lead, but Muzzle Trek cuts back into it down at the rail. The pace is fast early. Bud Royale sitting there nicely in the 3rd spot. He's just a length off Muzzle Trek, and then it's another 4 lengths back to River Keen. Looks like the order running has been established now. This probably won't change down the back stretch. It's still Thibodeau. David Flores just niggling the reins at him to keep up the strong pace. Muzzle Trek is right at his hindquarters in the 2nd spot, and Bud Royale quite happy to just track those other two, only 2 lengths off the leader, and River Keen's got just a fraction closer from behind. They have a half mile to go in the San Diego Handicap, and now Muzzle Trek has room and kicks for home, and he's going well too. Muzzle Trek, Chris McCarron not asking him, but he takes the lead and kicks on for home. Ears pricking back and forth as Muzzle Trek. Thibodeau second. Bud Royale's labouring today. Something wrong with Bud Royale. He's just not kicking it in. River Keen is coming with a nice run, though. They come to the top of the lane, and it's Muzzle Trek. Now he gets a tap on the shoulder and goes on. River Keen is the only one got a chance of making a race of it. Past the 8th pole they come, and Muzzle Trek just striding away. This one's poetry in motion. Muzzle Trek just making it look like an exercise gallop here. Muzzle Trek and Chris McCarron romp in the San Diego. River Keen second.
Muzzle Trek coming off of a brilliant record-setting win at 7 furlongs, stretches out to 1 1/16 on the dirt course here, sat off of the early pace of Thibodeau. Thibodeau was never able to break clear of the rival of Muzzle Trek, pressed him hard, just was able to take command at the top of the stretch, actually about 3/4 pole, and just never looked back, drawing off to win by 6 lengths, and an gradually increasing distance of victory here under Chris McCarron. Finishing second, River Keen, who was up from the 4th spot. Thibodeau did hold on for 4th. Bud Royale, who had been doing very nicely, he ran a very strong race in the Hollywood Gold Cup was a disappointing fourth and last here as the second choice in the wagering, but very good, another very good performance by Mazel Trick. The question now is, can he hold on to that, stretch that speed for 1.25 miles in the Pacific Classic against Grade 1 competition? Mazel Trick is a 4-year-old colt. He was bred in Kentucky, sired by Phone Trick, bred in Kentucky by the Axmar stable. He's owned by Jones and 3U stable, trained by Bobby Frankel, completing the 1 16 miles in 1 minute 40 3/5 seconds. Co-feature on Saturday's card at Del Mar was the Sorrento Stakes, a Grade 2 event for 2-year-old fillies. They're going for a $150,000 purse, competing competing 6.5 furlongs rather on the main track. Let's head back out to the West Coast now for the Grade 2 Sorrento Stakes.
Oh, where they go. Chilokee bounces away quickly from the inside gate. She's Classy's out fast. On the far side, it's Fire Sail Queen in the shadow roll. Those three in a line up front. Then comes Bold Feet a close up fourth. November Slew can tend to take back into fifth as 4 lengths off these leaders, and then 2 more to Arctic Queen. They've run past the 5/8 pole, and the favourite Chilokee going to make all her own running out here. Chilokee in front by a neck. Gets pressure from She's Classy. Fire Sail Queen is racing third. Bold Feet down at the rail. November Slew is still fifth. 4.5 off that leader, and Arctic Queen is last. Past the 3/8 they go, and Chilokee now starting to inch away up front. Chilokee still just twitching her ears back and forth. She's opened up a length and a bit over She's Classy. Then it's 4 back to November Slew. Arctic Queen running a good one and running on at the rail. Coming to the top of the lane, and Chilokee gets a little tap on the shoulder now, still pricks her ears forward, taking everything in as Chilokee. She's leading by 3 lengths. November Slew in the center of the track, but Chilokee is just ambling through the lane. She probably thinks she has to go around again. She hasn't taken a deep breath yet. This is something special. Chilokee in a stroll out here. November Slew second, She's Classy third, then Arctic.
Chilokee maintaining her unbeaten status in an ever-widening margin here. 6 lengths under David Flores. In Philly's first start in California, she was taking on a very good field of horses, including the second-place finisher, November Slew, a daughter of November Snow, a very impressive daughter of Seattle Slew, who won her debut performance very nicely, also taking on the likes of She's Classy. Just a very tough race here for Chilokee, but she proved coming out of it that she was far the best of this group here as the 2-10 favorite. Chilokee just continues to roll now for trainer Bob Baffert, who looks like he has got another championship caliber 2-year-old filly in his barn. Of course, Silver Bullet Day, last year's champion 2-year-old filly, also developed by Bob Baffert. Chilokee gets the win by 6 lengths. November Slew 3 lengths the best of She's Classy in the show spot. Chilokee, a 2-year-old filly, a daughter of Cherokee Run, bred in Kentucky by Dr. and Mrs. R.S. West and Mr. and Mrs. Mackenzie Miller, owned currently by the Stonerside Stable, trained by Bob Baffert, ridden to victory by David Flores, completing the 6.5 furlongs in 1 minute 16 2/5 seconds. Sunday's featured race at Del Mar was the Chula Vista Handicap. 3-year-olds and up fillies and mares going 1 16 miles on the main course for a purse of $300,000. Let's head back out to Del Mar once more for the call of the Chula Vista Handicap.
Gates closed. All in. Heel for the Chula Vista sent on their way. YOLO Lady breaks best and takes the early lead. Down at the rail, a lady from Dixie, and Manastique racing out in the center of the track. Been followed by Riboletta, who's only 3 lengths off the leader. And as usual, Mary Cruz has no early speed. She drops back last. They head to the 7/8 pole, and Riboletta out on the lead is YOLO Lady, setting a sensible pace here. They're not in too much of a hurry. A lady from Dixie's come through at the rail to be in second. Riboletta is right there third. Here's the favorite Manastique on the outside of the second group of runners, only 3 lengths off the leaders, and then a big gap of 8 to Mary Cruz. They swing onto the backstretch, and YOLO Lady now clear by 3 lengths. A Lady from Dixie is second, and Manastique has now taken the third spot. Riboletta is back to fourth, now 5 off that leader, and still this gap of 8 to Mary Cruz. They have a half-mile to go in the Chula Vista, and YOLO Lady out where she likes to be, showing the way, clear by 3 lengths. A Lady from Dixie's racing in second. Manastique is right there in the third spot. Riboletta's going to have to pick it up from fourth. She's 6 off the leaders and 9 back to Mary Cruz. 5/16 to go, and YOLO Lady asked to find more on the lead, but A Lady from Dixie's going better than her. Manastique is coming under a ride in third. Manastique's going to have to pick it up. A Lady from Dixie's the new leader. A Lady from Dixie. YOLO Lady trying to regather on the inside. Manastique is pretty much going up and down in third, making gradual headway. They pass the 16th pole. A Lady from Dixie in front. A Lady from Dixie and Chris Antley lead the Chula Vista with 50 to go. Manastique with a late run. A Lady from Dixie wins it a half a length to Manastique and YOLO Lady.
A Lady from Dixie, a bit of an upset here, beating Manastique on her home turf. Manastique up till this point was undefeated in California, had only suffered 2 defeats, both of those at the hands of the brilliant Banshee Breeze, this time going down to defeat on her home course. Early pace, as you saw, set by YOLO Lady, with the Lady from Dixie just behind. Manastique, a little bit on the wide side early. She was hustled up into the lane, but making some slow, laboring gains there, but not able to come up with a win here over A Lady from Dixie, who's taking her first graded stakes event here. A nice win here over the big mare Manastique by a half a length under Chris Antley. Manastique rallying up for the second spot under Chris McCarron. YOLO Lady, who set the early fractions, holds on under Kent DeSormo for the third spot. At the winner here, very impressive. A Lady from Dixie is a Dixieland band filly, 4 years old, bred in Kentucky by Mr. and Mrs. R.D. Randall. She is owned by Mr. and Mrs. Randall, trained by D. Wayne Lucas, who is being inducted into the Hall of Fame this week, as a matter of fact, and completing the mile in a 16th in 1 minute 43 2/5 seconds. We are going to take our next break now, and when we come back, we'll be taking a look at the stakes action from the second week of racing here at the Saratoga Racecourse, so please stay with us.
A day at Saratoga is not complete without a visit to the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame on Union Avenue in Saratoga Springs. Get an insight into the tradition of great thoroughbred racing, from the beginning of the Saratoga track in the 1800s to the present day. It's an experience you'll treasure forever. The National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame on Union Avenue in Saratoga Springs, open year-round. For more information, call 1-800-562-5394.
Welcome back to Horses and Courses. Next, we are going to head up north to Saratoga, where on Monday of last week, the featured event of the day was the Lake George Stakes, a Grade 3 event for 3-year-old fillies running for a $100,000 purse. They're going to be competing a mile and a 16th over the turf course. Let's head up to Saratoga now for the call of last Monday's Lake George Stakes.
And they're off. Nanny Rose and Rose Esther break first as they move onto the line the first time. Rose Esther, benefiting from an inside post, is out for the lead. And then it's Nanny Rose who tucks neatly in behind her there. A good piece of arrangementship there for Nanny Rose. With Shane Sellers aboard, they tucked nicely into second position, and then it's Solar Bound racing in third. On the inside, Perfect Sting fourth, Firmness fifth on the outside, followed by Intrigue running in sixth. Belle Cherie at the back of the pack, and the trailer is Twinkle Creek. Into the backstretch, Rose Esther length, Nanny Rose in hand and alongside. A 23 flat opening quarter, so the pace is a strong one here. There goes Nanny Rose with an aggressive early move, taking the lead 4.5 furlongs out. Nanny Rose in front. Rose Esther now running in second. Solar Bound is kept close third, 2.5 lengths back to Perfect Sting fourth, followed by Firmness losing some ground now. On the inside, Intrigue moves up a spot. Belle Cherie launching a bit as they hit the far turn, moving 3 wide, and a break of 3 lengths back to the trailer Twinkle Creek. The half went at a testing 46 1/5 seconds. Nanny Rose a length, Solar Bound driving to her on the outside, second by 3. Perfect Sting is now third. Intrigue is running in fourth. Then it's Belle Cherie fifth on the outside. Rose Esther is dropped back as the field turns for home. Top of the stretch. Nanny Rose driving on the lead, and she is pulled away from Solarbound. Nanny Rose arrives at the 8th pole in front by 3. Perfect Sting is now second. Intrigued on the outside now third. Solarbound is back to 4th. Nanny Rose trying to hang in there. Here comes Perfect Sting. She's gaining ground with every stride. Nanny Rose, Perfect Sting. Nanny Rose holds on.
Nanny Rose, a very good effort by this 3-year-old filly under Shane Sellers, pressing the early pace of Rose Esther, who is moving up from Allowance Company into the stakes race for the first time in her career. Nanny Rose settles in very nicely, takes the lead under complete control by Shane Sellers, draws off to win, draws off into the stretch, ends up hanging on to win by half a length over the late charging Perfect Sting. Perfect Sting, a filly who'd been running very well in stakes company for the Joe Orsino and Stronach stables, running a very hard-charging second under Pat Day. Intrigued, another filly who was a recent graduate of the allowance ranks into stakes company, making a nice move late for the show spot here. A very big effort by Intrigued, coming wide under Edgar Prado. Nanny Rose is a 3-year-old bay filly sired by Pateski, bred in Kentucky by Ronald Marcus, owned by Stonerside Stable, trained by Pat Byrne, completing the mile and a 16th over the firm turf course in 1 minute 40 flat. Next, we're going to head on to Wednesday's Honorable Mistakes. This is always a sharp race at Saratoga, usually yields fast times. A lot of the best 3-year-olds and up fillies and mares sprinters in the country are in town for the Honorable Miss. It is a Grade 3 event with a $100,000 added purse, going 6 furlongs over the main track. Let's head up to Saratoga once more for the call of the Honorable Miss.
They're off a stumbling beginning there for Steal the Heart. Bourbon Bell was away in good order. There goes Prospector's Song between horses and Gold Princess down on the inside. Debbie Dorr with the early leaders on the far outside. License Fee is close to the pace, 5th, followed by her stablemate Ruby Rubles, 6th on the inside. Delta Music is now back running in 7th, 2 lengths back to Torch and late starting Steal a Heart. Then it's another 7 or 8 lengths back to Furlow. Furlow is dropping way out of it. She's already 20 lengths off the lead. A 21-4. Quick first quarter there, rounding the far turn. Bourbon Bell in front, Debbie Dorr second by 3. Prospector's Song and Gold Princess running together second and third. Stablemates License Fee and Ruby Rubles running together. Furlow made up 10 lengths on the far turn and continues to close ground, but she's got a lot to do. Bourbon Bell, top of the stretch, the leader. Bourbon Bell, the leader, by 2.5 lengths. Debbie Dorr is running in second. Furlow continues a big charge down toward the inside. Gold Princess on the far outside. They're coming into the final 100 yards, and it is Bourbon Bell in front. Bourbon Bell, a late run from the outside by Gold Princess and License Fee. Furlow at the rail, but Bourbon Bell has got it, winning it by 3.5 lengths.
Bourbon Bell, a very impressive front-running performance here under Pat Johnson. A lot of speed signed on in this race. Bourbon Bell was one of the quickies in here. She gets out of the post 9 spot in very good order under Johnson, never looks back, drawing off to win by 3.25 lengths. Has the 4.5 to 1 fourth choice in the wagering here. Just a second choice in the wagering, rather. A very tough effort here by some of the other fillies. A lot of speedy fillies in this event, and as a result, what ended up happening was the fastest of the fast on that day was able to get out to the lead, but a very good win by Bourbon Bell and a cagey ride by Pat Johnson. Finishing second, Gold Princess, who broke from down on the inside, had a little bit of trouble keeping up with the early pace, ended up making a nice late move after going a little bit wide on the stretch. Finishing third, License Fee, a little bit of a long shot, part of an entry here at over 8 to 1. Made another wide move. This one was wide throughout most of the going. Big game finish by License Fee as well. And Furlow ran 4th in this race. Furlow, last year's winner in the Honorable Miss, made a nice move up the rail, a very quick move on the rail, considering that the rail had not really been the place to be throughout the first week of racing at Saratoga. But to take nothing away from the winner, Bourbon Bell, a very impressive winner here, a 4-year-old filly by Storm Boot. She was bred in Kentucky by Peter Salmon III, owned by George Hoffmeister, Kay Hoffmeister, and Donna Salmon, trained by Peter Salmon Jr., completing the 6 furlongs under Pat Johnson in 1:09 2/5 seconds. Friday's featured event on the Saratoga schedule was the Amsterdam Stakes, a Grade 3 event for 3-year-old colts and geldings going 6 furlongs on the main track. Let's head back up to Saratoga now for the call of the Amsterdam Stakes.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Texas Glitter springs from the gate and quickly opens up a length on them. And Shadowcaster is away running second. Successful Appeal on the outside. Silver Season races in 4th position. Fantastic finish just outside the lead 5th. At the rail, Lionhearted 6th. Aristotle close to the pace 7th. Break of 4, Torrid Sand. Break of 5, Davies Cutlass. Racing into the far turn, Shadowcaster coming through on the inside of Texas Glitter. Those two streak into the far turn together. The opening quarter in a rapid 22-1. Texas Glitter and Shadowcaster, and these two full out round the far turn. Successful Appeal working harder to stay within striking range. And then on the outside, here comes Lionhearted, rallying up into 4th. Silver Season, fantastic finish in Aristotle. And the field turns for home. Texas Glitter continues to tangle with Shadowcaster. The half went in 45-1. Here comes Successful Appeal on the outside. Successful Appeal and Lionhearted. Texas Glitter has stopped badly. A late run on the rail from Silver Season. It is Successful Appeal coming down to the finish line to meet them all. Successful Appeal wins by a length and a half. Lionhearted was second. Silver Season was third.
Successful Appeal, last seen in the winner's circle after the Withers down in New York, gets back into winning form here under Edgar Prado from just off the pace, stalked the early pace, never too far out of the picture here, made a nice rally onto the stretch, never looked back under a strong hand ride by Edgar Prado. Finishing second, Lionhearted, who ran a very game second, couple of races back behind, Yes It's True, while sprinting at Belmont Park, came back with a nice allowance. Second place finish. Rally is up here from the well back in the pack. He was far back early, made a nice move under Mike Smith for the place spot. Silver Season up from Florida after a very impressive win in the carryback last time out, finishes in the show spot. Favored Texas Glitter, the lukewarm favorite in here, showed a little bit of early speed for John Velasquez before packing it in rather early in the race. And Successful Appeal back in the winner's circle for trainer John Kimmel, owner of the Starview stable. He is a brown colt, 3-year-old colt, bred in Florida by Harry Mangurian, sired by Valid Appeal, completes the 6 furlongs under Edgar Prado in 1:10 and 1/5 seconds. Saturday's featured event on the card at Saratoga, the Grade 1 Gopher Wands Handicap. This is a $250,000 event for 3-year-olds and up. Fillies and mares, they're going to go 1 1/8 over the main track. Let's head up to Saratoga now for the Grade 1 Gopher Wand.
And they're off. Banshee Breeze off to an alert start. Beautiful Pleasure is there and sent up toward the lead. Mossflower and Heritage of Gold at the rail as they move into the clubhouse turn. Jorge Chavez putting a Beautiful Pleasure into the game early. Heritage of Gold down toward the inside. Beautiful Pleasure short lead. Heritage of Gold runs in second. Mossflowers kept close in the early going. Right up there on the outside third. Jerry Bailey has found his way to the inside with Banshee Breeze. Now running in 4th position, saving all that ground round the first turn. Diggins is the trailer in this field of 5 as Beautiful Pleasure takes the field into the backstretch. The opening quarter was a sensible 24 2/5 seconds. Beautiful Pleasure is cruising down the backstretch, leads by 2. Bailey won't let her get away too far. Banshee Breeze is now advanced in the pack, only a length and a half from front running Beautiful Pleasure. On the outside, Heritage of Gold is third. Mossflower is losing ground at this point. Mossflower now dropping 6 lengths for the lead. She's now being passed by Diggins. The field moving into the far turn. 48 seconds flat for the opening half mile. It is Beautiful Pleasure and Banshee Breeze. They're running 1-2 at the midway point on the turn. Heritage of Gold is third. 5 lengths back to Mossflower, still toiling back in 4th position, and Diggins is 5th. Coming to the top of the stretch. Beautiful Pleasure is still in control. Will Bailey try to come through on the inside with Banshee Breeze? Yes, as Beautiful Pleasure goes wide. Off the turn, into the stretch. Banshee Breeze full out. Beautiful Pleasure on the outside. They'll arrive at the 8th pole together. Heritage of Gold is third. 1 furlong to go, and they're really going at it on the lead. Beautiful Pleasure and Banshee Breeze heads apart, inseparable, with the 16th to come. Banshee Breeze on the inside, resting a short lead from a game Beautiful Pleasure under the line, and the Go for One was a thriller, won by Banshee Breeze by a head.
Banshee Breeze just continues to roll. A very impressive performance here. Only gets the win by about a neck or so, but a very impressive win nonetheless when you consider that as I've mentioned, the rail was not the place to be. Jerry Bailey saving some ground, taking her down to the rail, knowing that he had enough filly to overcome what had been rather a dull rail throughout the first week or so of racing. Just getting up to beat Beautiful Pleasure, who is a very game second place finisher here. Beautiful Pleasure does have a tendency to run a little bit wide. She tends to move a little bit wide on the turn. She did on the last turn. Jerry Bailey is aware of that, was able to duck Banshee Breeze to the inside, get through on the rail, but nip and tuck stretch run right down to the wire with Banshee Breeze prevailing, finishing in the 3rd spot, well back of the first two. Heritage of Gold up from the Mid-Atlantic circuit. Made a nice rally on the first turn, but did tire somewhat in the stretch. Moss Flower, who was returning to Stakes Company for the first time after an allowance debut for this season last month at Belmont Park, made a little bit of a move, faded, looked like she might be dropping back to last. Diggins had passed her at one point, but she did rally once again and get up for the 4th spot. Diggins finished 5th and last. Banshee Breeze, a 4-year-old bay filly, daughter of Unbridled, was bred in Kentucky by James B. Taffel, her owner, along with the JFB stables, trained by Carl Navsker, ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey, completing the 1 1/8 distance in 1 minute 49 and 4/5 seconds. Finishing out the weekend stakes action at Saratoga was the Jim Dandy Stakes, a Grade 2 event for 3-year-olds going 1 1/8 over the main track. The purse is $300,000. Let's head up to Saratoga once more for the call of Sunday's Jim Dandy Stakes.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Ecton Park and Badger Gold strike off for the lead. Key to Success under a hustling ride early. Toward the inside, Vision and Verse as the field moves into the clubhouse turn. Vicar caught very wide. Vicar is way, way out into the middle of the track. It's Key to Success has come away with the lead. Badger Gold is there. Vicar taking a wide route up toward the front now. And then it's Lemon Drop Kid in between horses. On the far outside, Ecton Park. Ecton Park is now running in 4th. Lemon Drop Kid close to the pace 5th. Vision and Verse is 6th. It's 5 lengths back to Best of Luck. Jean-Luc Samine trying to keep him in the game early. The opening quarter goes in 24 seconds flat. A solid pace here as the field makes their way up the backstretch. Vicar going head-to-head with Badger Gold. Ecton Park sitting just outside them 3rd. Lemon Drop Kid right there in the thick of it 4th. Long Shot Key to Success now backpedals in 5th. Vision and Verse has been guided off the rails 6th, about 6 lengths from the lead. With a half-mile remaining, the trailer is still Best of Luck. Into the far turn, the half went in 47 and 4/5 seconds. Here comes Ecton Park ranging up on the outside. Vicar is right there battling away in between horses. Badger Gold toward the inside. Lemon Drop Kid right there in behind the lead. He's 4th. Then Vision and Verse. Then farther back, Best of Luck has now made within 8 lengths of the lead. The field turns for home. Ecton Park wide off the turn, but he is in front, and he has hit his best stride. Lemon Drop Kid set down for the drive on the far outside. Badger Gold is there toward the rail. Vicar has now faded to 4th. Best of Luck is 5th, and Vision and Verse 1 furlong to go. Ecton Park in front. Ecton Park is going, and he is gone to win the Jim Dandy in impressive style. He won by a half a dozen lengths.
Well, as you saw, the weather had turned. We had some slop on the race course, and Ecton Park certainly seemed to take to it quite well, drawing off to win by over 5 lengths in a very good effort. Lemon Drop Kid down on the rail for much of the running under Jose Santos. Not the best place to be during the early part of this meet. Just was a little bit dull up the backstretch, but made a nice move into 2nd place. Badger Gold, just recent graduate of the allowance ranks, also made a very big start here, got off to the lead, was pressed hard early by the likes of Vicar, who was way wide on the outside first turn, Key to Success, another horse that showed very good speed, faded quite badly. But Badger Gold, certainly of the early speed horses, Badger Gold held on very well. This was a colt that had very good mud record before. He had run 2 races in the slop, both of those showing wins. At Ecton Park, a very successful return to stakes company here. He had won a good allowance race in Kentucky and was then gone out to Ohio, where he ran on the board in the Ohio Derby, following that up now with a nice Grade 2 win in the Jim Dandy Stakes. He is a chestnut colt sired by 49er, bred in Kentucky by E.A. Cox. He's owned by Mark Stanley, trained by Elliott Walden, winning the race from 1 mile and an eighth in 1 minute 49 and 2/5 seconds under jockey Alex Solis. Thanks for joining me today. That does conclude our look back at the stakes racing action from this previous week. We do hope you will join us again next week when Horses and Courses has for you, among other stakes racing action, the Pat O'Brien, a Grade 2 sprint from Del Mar, and of course the continued racing action from Saratoga, highlighted by next Saturday's Sword Dancer Handicap, a Grade 1 on the turf. We do hope you've enjoyed our show today. We're going to have a lot of stakes racing action continuing from both East Coast and West Coast and points in between, so we hope to see everyone next week. I'm Jean Wood. Thank you again for watching. See everyone here next week.